Walmart today. Yes, we got them on the expose. They out there selling all this, this meat and everything else, especially if it's weighed and they selling it by the weight. I don't care if it's meat, it might be fruit or whatever, vegetables, whatever they sell by the weight. Does you have to weigh that shit to see if it's actually what they say it is. A lot of people just exposing them, man, and taking the meat right out of their meat department, take it up front to where you check out, and put it on the scale, because you can convert that into a scale, right? You know, and if you weigh it and see what it says on the sticker, and you gonna see that they charging people double in some cases. Yeah, they charging people double in some cases. Charging, the man had a ham. The ham, and he had a bunch of it. Weighed 24. It cost $24. I forget how much it was per pound. And it literally weighed half of that. It literally weighed half of it. And he put it on a Walmart scale. I said, well, what the fuck is going on? This is highway robbery. Let's just show you the whole society is a fucking scam. The whole society. That's all these business peoples in America know how to do, is scam the fucking people, man. And that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a corrupt society from top to goddamn bottom. From top to goddamn bottom, you dealing with a wicked society. And so, yeah, this, and you always knew but people didn't expect that. You know why? Because yeah. A lot of people ain't expecting, because you've been taught, that, the white man is smart, he knows everything, and that ain't what a lot of people believe, but a lot of people do believe it. A lot of people do believe it because nobody really checks. Nobody really checks. People go straight up there and they cash out because they believe what it says on, and that go for history too. That go for religion too. Niggas is the same way as they is with that meat. It's the same way they is with religion, science, technology, anything the white man say, motherfuckers believe it. And it's showing and proving because people's is checking it. And they showing that they lying about them to everything that they talking about. So how in the fuck you gonna trust anything from this Neanderthal? Real talk. You can't trust nothing because the motherfucker gonna tip the scale. He gonna tip the scale when he can. And even in ancient Egypt, it used to say, make not light the bushel. Make not light the bushel, meaning, exactly what they doing. That's making light the bushel where you say, oh, it's 5 pounds, and you got your hand on the other scale and shit. You know what I'm saying? You drop a weight, you got wheat on the scale, and you got a little heavy weight inside of the wheat. You know what I'm saying? You drop the wheat on the scale, and it say, oh, it weighed 10 pounds. And when you say, okay, and when you get ready to take it off the scale, you take the weight out the wheat and put the wheat in the bag. That's making light the bushel, man. And so that was a sin because that's how they did things in ancient Egypt. They weighed it. That's how they could, and this is even ancient, weighing things and being charged by the weight. And so this was crazy because this man printing red meat, 3D printing, man, I believe it. I mean, I seen the genetically modified meat. I seen the genetically modified, it's a meat byproduct, so they 3D printing the shit. Man, it's crazy. They don't even want you to eat real food no more, man. They want you to eat some ooze. They want you, in half that shit, you don't even know if the shit, and they supposed to tell you that it's a meat product, but is they really telling everybody? Is they really telling everybody that they eating or they could be just lying. You go and you eat the shit, it says sirloin, you believe them because you just like the price. You ain't gonna double check on shit. So you gonna go right in there and nigga get you some steak sauce and shit, and you gonna put all the steak sauce and you eat the shit and you say, well, goddamn, that was a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That was a bad steak. Some people might taste it and say, well, what the fuck was that? You know? But hey, if they could get away with it, they damn sure gonna try, especially when they got a population that don't do no fact checking. Don't fact check shit. And it's coming out, man. The same thing they've been doing. They getting busted. They over there at Starbucks is getting busted. They putting all that synthetic shit in the drinks now. They been doing it, but now they got to up their game, because they trying to keep the continuity of the coffees, together longer. So now they creating this processed synthetic shit, silica and all it is, and to keep it together. And you supposed to be having a fucking coffee, and you drinking all of this garbage. You know what I'm saying? Drinking all of this and you wonder why you got a motherfucking headache after you drank that shit. Be like, God damn, and when you don't get it, a lot of this shit, if you own if whatever it is, coffee or whatever it is, and you get a headache when you don't get it, that's telling you something. You become addicted to that shit. When you get a motherfucking headache, cause you ain't getting your whatever that is, that crack. They didn't in this, they didn't put something in that shit. And whatever it is, drink, pop, a fucking goddamn Snicker candy bar, you eating them enough till your body is craving that shit. And when you don't get it and you get a motherfucking headache, you ever get a headache if you don't eat fruit and shit like that, or some natural shit? You don't get headaches like that. But you know what I'm saying? You don't get headaches like that. But yeah, you most definitely, man, you got to listen to me. Prove it to me. I want y'all to come back I'm going to do it again. If you go to the supermarket, and you get meat, if you eat meat, look at what it say it weigh. And when you get up to when you get ready to check out, you get ready to go to the self checkout. And you know how when you get ready, put your stuff up there, you can hit the scale. Hit the scale and drop that meat on there and see what it weigh. And see if it weigh the same as what it weigh on that damn sticker. And if it don't, you already know you done expose their ass in some shit. You done expose their ass in some shit. And the only thing that they could do is readjust the price on what to get their money that they been. And if people force them to tell the truth of what's on that sticker, they're gonna find a way to get that money. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, supermarket. Yeah, you got to find somewhere a natural butcher. You know what I'm saying? In Detroit, they got the Eastern Market. You go down there to the Eastern Market, they be cutting that shit up, right there in front of your motherfucking face. But how long the cow been dead, all that shit apply. It's always levels to this shit. No matter how you do it, it's levels to this shit. But weigh that shit. Prove it to me. Prove it to yourself. Just don't buy that shit. Even the fruit. If they say, they charging you by the weight, hit that motherfucking scale and drop that shit on there and see if it weigh what they say on that sticker. And if not, how long, how much money have you thinking you done gave these people, man? Imagine that shit, man. And they've been doing this shit all along. Think about that over a course of years. How much money do you really think you done paid these people? You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? And you talking about motherfuckers trying to make ends meet out here, and you really being robbed so many ways. You can't even imagine how many different ways they robbing your ass. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So we got to find a way to stop giving our money over to these people, man. That's real talk. Independence, sovereignty. We got to have. Marcus Garvey said it best, man. I'm not gonna keep her. And Malcolm came behind Marcus, reiterating that same fact. We need our own nation. Straight up, we got to control everything, man. Food, clothing, shelter, defense, education, spirituality, all of that. Got to control it all. You understand what I'm saying? And put these niggas under, do the same, put the spotlight on their ass and make sure they doing what they supposed to do. Appreciate y'all, family. I'll be black. Click that link, Patreon down there. Get over there. I got over 600 exclusive live streams, all kind of lectures, man, on all the subjects: Egypt, Olmec, Black Power, Naga Kushite, occult. We got it for you. General Seti, Etsy, One Stop, KingSeti.com, and make sure you click that like button, man. Get this video a thumbs up, like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends, and I'll be black. Boom, black pop.